Robinson. They call me Jay.
This is Michael Jeffrey. They call me Mike Jeff.
This is Logan Barnes, and they call me Pounds.
This is Vince Smith, and they call me Vinny.
And this is The Last Dab.
And we're back.
Back, baby. TLDP, we up in the stew. We up in the stew with the regular dudes.
The regular dudes, and we also got one more added to the crew. So we got Spencer Basin. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
All right, man. Like, dude, I'm trying to think back the first time like I met you, and I want to say like preschool even. Like, did you go to either We Care or Peppermint Palace?
I did not. No,
Neither one of them.
No. What was the popular one?
Oh, Pixie.
Pixie Playhouse.
That's the
Okay.
one my son went to.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Well, because I was in your sister's grade.
I think it's probably when we first met was with my sister.
somewhere
old are you?
along then.
20, just turned 24.
Okay, so are
Yeah.
you like R?
I'm 25.
Would you be in R?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, happy birthday, man.
Were you in R like grade, or were you age?
I was
below us?
class of 2017.
Okay, so wait,
2
that's
years?
two. How
Yeah,
is that
2
two?
years.
That doesn't even make sense. I'm 25.
you were
He's
older.
24.
You wouldn't.
You're the youngest in our grade.
I know. I was one of them youngins, man. I was one of the young cats coming around.
Yeah, so I had seen you just the other day where I work, and you've been gone for a little while, man. What you been up to?
Yeah, I've been on the road a lot this year. So I've been I'm a race car driver. I race wing sprint cars. So run with the World of Outlaws series, which is from coast to coast. So we start in Florida in February, work our way across the south, just because the weather's warmer, obviously, and then made our way back here. But the season's starting to wind down. So when I saw you, we had just gotten back literally just drove back from California the day before
Nice.
that. So we made a swing out there, and then we've got a few weekends left, and then round out the year.
Nice.
So you say you do. What do you race again?
Wing sprint cars.
Break that down for the people
So-
that don't know. Because I saw a picture, and I'm not gonna lie. Earlier, I thought you rode motorbike. And
I said dirt track racing.
Yeah,
Dirt
dirt
track,
track,
yeah.
and I was just like, all I know is like
Yeah,
motocross.
dirt box, yeah,
so
supercross, yeah.
explain to me exactly what you do, and then break it down. We'll put a picture for post production, but describe in your own words what exactly it is.
So probably if for someone that is not into motorsports racing, doesn't know anything about it, you probably be most familiar with like NASCAR or like IndyCar, right? It's more the NASCAR type. It's on oval, so it's a dirt track. It's usually half mile or smaller. So if you think about like a high school running track, that's a quarter mile. That's about the smallest we race on. Okay. But
So
obviously
like double that.
Double
is
that,
usually-
yeah. But it's dirt, there's banking, and the wing part of wing sprint car racing it's pretty much just an upside down airplane wing on top of the car that gives it a ton of downforce. So airplane wings lift up, our wings are...
So it's like aerodynamics to keep you down
Yeah.
because you drive so fast.
So we have, the engines are 900 horsepower, 410 cubic inch, and the cars weigh like 1,400 pounds.
Yeah,
so
Can you
like,
imagine 900 horses?
Yeah,
Like, bro, they're
so
going
like,
crazy.
so think about like your street car. So think about your street car, right? So your street car weighs a few thousand pounds.
Yeah.
And your car's got maybe 400 horsepower, somewhere in there. So put that 900 horsepower engine in there, how fast that would be. Then take your car and cut it into a third. That's the power to weight ratio we're working with.
Wow.
So that wing is an essential to keep the car into the racetrack because it's dirt. So obviously there's slip in the tires. You're not completely locked into the track. So
Gotcha.
part of the challenge and like what makes it unique is you have a really lightweight car that is extremely overpowered on a surface that doesn't have much grip. So how do you get the car locked into the racetrack the most to be obviously the fastest guy on the track? So there's a lot of engineering, a lot of design, a lot of adjustments and things that go into making your car competitive, and then obviously the right driver and crew chief and team and
Are
engines
they
and
called like?
everything.
Are they called funny cars? Or
So that's drag racing.
that's drag
Oh,
racing.
that's
drag
Has the
racing.
same type of car though?
No, that's completely different.
Gotcha.
So our cars, it's a sprint car. There's midgets, as funny as that sounds.
Midgets. That's what I was thinking.
So that's what I
yeah.
used to like back when we were in high school. That's what I ran was midgets.
Midgets,
And then
okay.
I moved up into sprint cars. Before that, I started in like go karts and ran what's called a micro sprint, which is a micro size of a sprint car. So I've kind of been in the same family of racing all the way through.
But you've moved up.
Just kept moving up.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like as in like if an amateur in a sport and it's just progressing into the pro.
Yeah, so technically, like break it down and make it easy to understand. So like when I was in like middle school, I ran micro sprints, which is more like it's kind of hobby racing. It's like a pickup, a rec league football game, right? And then after that, I moved into national midgets, which is more like high school type stuff, high school football, like it's organized kind of thing. And then after that, I got into running some sprint car races, but with smaller series. So that's like when you move to like college football type level, right? And then now what we're in now is the World of Outlaws series, which is the top level of dirt track racing in
That's
the
like
country.
NBA type shit.
So it's like it's the top of the
That's fucking
top of the
awesome.
top. So I mean, higher than that would be NASCAR, but that's in a different avenue.
Yeah.
So that's if you started in like a street stock, which is like a full size car on pavement, and so I just took a different avenue.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah,
But-
you're top of the line, top tier right now.
But yeah, this is my first year as a full time touring World of Outlaw driver. There's 14 of us in the
That's
country.
awesome.
Yeah.
Damn.
No,
That's tough.
yeah, that
top
is crazy.
14.
Yeah. So it's been fun. It's been it's a lot. I mean, that shit. In high school I missed out on a lot of stuff and football games and parties and whatever prom and all the stuff you're worried about when you're 16. But it's definitely worked out and it's been a lot of fun for sure.
You get a new perspective when you grow and you get older. It's like, anyone that does still dwell in that thought of like, because everyone thinks like, oh, I wish I could do high school different or better, or this and that. But like, you put that hard work in, and look where it got you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're doing exactly what you want to do. You're
Well,
gonna
yeah,
keep
because it was
progressing.
it's that passion because
Yes.
even some people say with like the boxing or the MMA type of stuff, like why would they do that? Like it puts so much on their body, or even for a basketball player or football player. I mean, there's a lot of sacrifices in your life, but that's because I'm guessing that's something that you love. That's the passion in that. And with you missing out on those things, was that you out there practicing, or was it you just doing these events, or how would you practice?
Just running races. I mean, I've been racing since I was 10. So as you
wow.
got older, it got more serious. So when I was 15 is when it got really serious, which I think you're like a freshman at that point, maybe.
Yeah,
freshman high school or so. So that's when I started, missing a lot more school and traveling a lot more and stuff like that. But yeah, it's kind of with anything, if you want to be successful at something, you got to make sacrifices. So I had to sacrifice kind of a lot of those things that you get to enjoy when you're in high school, but it's all I wanted to do was be a race car driver and make a career out of it. So to be here now looks, it's really cool to look back and just kind of think about all that stuff. But
well, good for you, man, because
it's been fun.
a lot of people, just the things that we worry about in high school, like how minuscule anyways, you know what I mean?
no longevity,
Right.
no future.
I mean, and it's cool that you chose something that's yours, you know what I mean? That's important to you.
Yeah.
And like you said, with this sort of type of racing, like this is your avenue in this life, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you took it and you ran with it, man. That's what's up.
That's been
Ran with it. So 10 years
Drove
old,
with
you
it.
said that's when you started.
Yeah.
But when, I feel like at a younger age, you got a little love for it, for the racing. How old you? I'm thinking maybe around 4 or 5. You just started. You know what I mean?
Started
Your
with
mom and
Hot
dad were
Wheels?
Like,
Yeah.
this kid, what is he doing?
So normally, like the people that I race with, there's lots of family names that have been in the industry forever, like generations, right? So it's normal for those kids or those guys to have kids that'll someday race because that's just kind of how it works. You're already in the business. It's just kind of part of who you are as a person if you grew up in one of these families. But with my scenario, it was a little bit different because no one in my family raced. So for me, how I kind of first got interested was my grandparents live in Central Illinois. They live in a town that had a dirt track, so we'd go over this time of year for harvest because my grandpa worked on a farm. So like Saturday night, we'd just go to the races, and like I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I would have been 2, 3, 4, 5, that age. And then just watching like the races on TV, the Indy 500, and NASCAR, stuff like that. So that's kind of how I got started, the interest at least.
So you kind of like started it yourself.
Pretty much, yeah. Which is just kind of different, I guess.
It's different because, like you said, usually it's passed down generational. Your father introduces it to you. You're, elder. You know what I mean? A shaman.
Yeah, some sort of guide.
This is what you'll do.
Yeah. So, and coming from, Indiana. We're like you said, home of Indy 500.
We race.
Right.
That's
we
Indiana.
are the racing capital of the
because
world.
of back in like Prohibition days and stuff. We would basically, and like robbing banks and shit, bro. What, John Dillinger?
Yeah, John Dillinger.
Bro, there's so many examples.
He said souped up his car and was like outrunning all the cops. Yeah, like they could not catch him.
Yeah.
So like Indiana has that fucking heritage and that past of like, we drive cars fast. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Say it.
It's fall, y'all.
No.
Not that. My bad. If you're not first, you're last.
Oh, okay.
So we were talking
Damn it,
about
Ricky, I was high when I said
on the podcast. It's fall. It feels like fall outside now.
Oh,
It's fall, y'all.
Yeah.
It's fall, y'all. Yeah, because I was like, wait a second, where are you going?
I don't know.
No, but I hear you. Do you believe that if you're not first, you're last, Ricky Bobby? Whatever.
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby out there.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like that's the mentality. Is like, you know what I mean? Gotta get ahead. What's it like out there? What is your mindset like when you're
Like when you're getting ready,
when you're
even
on
before
track. to getting in your car, you guys are about to start to during the race.
Right.
I bet not.
Yeah, like the adrenaline. How,
dude? I'll tell you, my first sprint car race, which was kind of the car I'm in now, made the jump when I was like 16, and like you're strapping into this thing that is like just a massive, overpowered beast that you're just not even comfortable being in, and you're racing. Most of the guys I race, like I'm a younger guy. Most of the guys I race with are mid-20s to into their 40s.
Gotcha.
But like most of them are 30 to 40 and like have been doing it for a long time. So, you're just intimidated alone just with being on the track with those guys, let alone
They always got a big old dip in probably.
you can't even turn your head in that shit, can you? Like, isn't it
you're
like
locked in.
like stiff as
dipping right in front. Right in front of
a straw, like a ramp.
Yeah, but your nerves, they get going. And then when you're on the track, like the first few races, you get so exhausted because you're holding on for like dear life. Like you think if you're just
white knuckling.
You're white knuckling. So like by the end of it, you're like, oh, there's no way in hell I can do this. Like I'm just, but with time it comes, and then obviously experience and like having a good car and equipment, all that stuff helps. So it just takes time, man. So I went for 2.5 or 3 years. I went with like kind of like a free agent pretty much. Like I just fill in with guys, and like it was starting to get exhausting because I would, fill in for a guy that got hurt, or I'd fill in for a team that needed to run a second car to a special event or whatever. So like I would just be the
hopping around,
like sixth man pretty much. But it gets old because you don't know like this weekend if you're going to get the race and make any money, and then like stuff like that. So there was a period there where I actually thought maybe I need to like just kind of hang it up, go get a job, because it got to the point where it's tough. There's only so many teams out there, and for them to like consider hiring you, and like at that point I had ran well, but it wasn't anything outstanding. And then into last year had a couple really good races and got this deal, which was kind of a turning point.
What is this deal right now?
I'm just on a 2-year contract with the World of Outlaw team.
Okay.
So it's good, just pretty much kind of like your first true professional contract.
Like guaranteed races pretty much. Right on.
Where I'm locked into the same car all year.
And what's you said it's a 2-year contract.
2 year.
When did that start?
Started this year, calendar year. So our season goes from end of January, early February to November.
And how many within that contract race-wise are you looking at, do you think?
90 normally.
Wow.
90
He
races.
said 90?
Damn.
I didn't know it was going to be a
Wow.
fucking NBA season. Like five,
They schedule 90, but with some rainouts and cancellations,
70
we usually
to 80.
hit we're on track right now to hit 75 to 80.
Okay.
That's still a lot, man.
It's a lot.
Someone
And-
break out the calendar.
Yeah.
Or the calculator. What is that?
That's 52 weeks in a year, so minus like three months probably.
Well, he said 2 years.
I know. Yeah.
None of us is pulling out our phone.
No, I trusted in Vince though. I was like, "There's our
he started
calculator."
talking. I'm like, "Oh, listen."
It'd be 365 times 2 divided by 75 guaranteed. That's
Well, it'd be twice 75 because it's 2 full seasons. So we run like 80 races a season. So 160 races.
Damn.
someone else hit
that's-
that. Hit that. I don't know what I was trying to break it down to. Maybe monthly. What monthly
What,
do you
every
think you
weekend,
race?
maybe?
Yeah, like what is the calendar? Like what
Like
is the
right now,
schedule?
we're starting to slow down. So we're running, let me think here. Trying to think. 7-8 races a month, pretty much. Yeah. And then the busy part of the year is like June, July, beginning of August. We run like consecutive, like back-to-back days a lot. So our normal week, like a normal week. So I'll just go through pretty much last week and then this coming weekend. So last week we ran Friday night at Eldora Speedway, which is the closest track to here. It's just in Ohio. It's like 2 hours away. And then Saturday we were at Sharon, Ohio, but it's on the state line of Pennsylvania. And then next week we're in Pennsylvania for 2 nights on Friday, Saturday. So like most of the time it's weekends only.
Yeah.
And it usually flows. So like most of like my team is out on the road. They're staying at hotels and stuff because the schedule flows. Like we're in California and
They
then we
gotta
made our
move
way across.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because I live in Indy, so we came back for the week just to kind of relax and hang out for
There
a
you
little
go.
bit. So.
Nice. Kind of get a mental rejuvenation going on.
Dude, you'd be surprised when you start living in a hotel for a month or 2 at a time. Like your brain goes to mush.
And
it's
just
terrible.
just out of the suitcase, no matter, you know what I mean? You got to have all the little gear, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
my girlfriend hates it. She struggles. Her shit's a wreck by the time we get home.
she ride, you know, she goes with you wherever you go.
She goes with you?
Yeah, so she runs my merchandising business, which I pull a t-shirt trailer. It's like a 16, 18 foot.
I did see a couple of the t-shirts. I liked them a lot.
Dude, merchandising, it's a big part of our business. So every race we go to, the 14 guys have their merchandise trailer. Now, there's more than 14 racers at these tracks because there's like local guys that'll come in. So usually there's 30 or 40 some teams show up. But like the traveling 14 or the Outlaws are the only ones that are allowed to sell at these races. And so Audrey, my girlfriend, she runs the merchandising business. She has, all our trailers, has display of all our merch, hats, hoodies, shirts, koozies, all that stuff that we can sell. And dude, most nights she out earns me.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big, I'm telling you, it's a big business.
As in, she'll make more off of merch than you will off the race?
Yep.
She started grinding, bro. That's dope.
The top level guys are, here you go. The top level guys are selling a ton of stuff. It's
So
crazy.
right here we got some great.
SpencerBasin.com/collections/
Love the colorways.
Yes.
I love gray. I wear a lot of gray. It's one of my favorite.
That was the beginning of the season. Shirts.
Look at that hoodie.
Oh, I see you repping your hat right now. Then
So this is True Timber Camo is a sponsor of ours. So we have a lot of sponsors. But this is what's called a title sponsor. So they're on our car for the next for
what
these
are
2
they
years.
called again?
True Timber.
True Timber.
So they're a
Shout
screen
out
printing
True Timber.
company, and they own 27 different camo patterns. So like if you go to Bass Pro Shops and you see their shirts they have on their racks and like the boats and stuff, a lot of them are True Timber camo prints.
Okay.
Look at these youth fucking. These
Oh,
look
like
dope,
Superman is
bro.
dope.
Look at those.
Old school comic, like
Wow, just bursting
Those are
out.
nice, too, the
Nice
hats.
hats. I'd wear that one backwards all day.
got some good gear.
50
Scroll down
bucks
a little
isn't
bit
even
for
that-
me, Vinny.
It's not even that bad.
Yes, please. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Ooh, a wing panel.
So those are like a replica of like our wing sideboards. So people buy those and love to hang them up.
That's a banana color with a teal. Oh, it's
Papaya.
It's papaya. My bad. I don't know my tropical fruits. Oh,
Nice.
look at the koozie.
Yeah, that's dope.
Nice decal. You can
So
throw
it's
on
like
your
it's just
car.
simple stuff, but people like race fans come from all over.
That's what
And like
they
our
like.
online, we have obviously this is our online store, so people can go on here and order. So like today, Audrey was packing the week's orders and taking them to the post office.
Oh, look at
So
that.
we got
Nice.
the camo hats, silver or gray camo, regular camo. We got a awesome pink shirt for the ladies.
Got the collar.
The collar, if you want to
That's
go
right.
golf or something.
Yeah, we might. We didn't wear the collar to the golf course.
They almost
didn't like
kicked us
that.
out.
They didn't like that.
It's coming. I like that sweatshirt too. I like it the main green print with the
Kind
camo.
of reminds me of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it does.
Dude, you're the second guy that said that.
Really?
Yeah. So that I had no intention of that, but for whatever reason, we have a shirt designer guy that draws a lot of these up for us, and
Nice.
I don't think that was the goal, but it kind of resembles that a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
That's what's
shout
up.
out, man. Hit up SpencerBayston.com. It's exactly how it sounds. Not hard to spell at all. And you'll be able to find some dope merch.
Yeah, put Audrey to work. Get her back in some
That's what I'm
orders.
saying. Yeah, she needs to fill some orders. Let's go. I'm definitely going to grab something. And if anyone else grabs something, maybe we could figure out like a little code.
Yeah, we could add it. We could add a discount code.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
That would be cool.
Let's get a Last Dab discount code
Yeah.
for our fans.
I'd like to
that way.
grab some merch for sure.
Yeah. That
Give me
way
one of
our
them
fans
hats.
know, you know what I mean,
Sweatshirt.
support others.
Olive green Strata, like it.
Snapback hat.
So I thought I saw on your page you've won here and there, haven't you?
Yeah, we've won a couple races this season, which was good. Yeah, it's so like the top guys they're winning like 10, 12 races a year. Right now we're at 2, which is okay. It's not bad. It's my rookie season, so on
that
pace,
means you're beating those guys.
Yeah, on pace,
You know, right?
pace to hopefully in the next couple of years as we advance, like to do better and win some more races.
course.
But we're in the thick of it every night. It's just
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like if you feel like a rookie, like it is my rookie season. I feel like a rookie. It's
Yeah.
like there's a lot you still have to learn. Like these guys
Yeah,
are
learn.
professionals.
Yeah, they've been
like,
doing this for as long as you've been fucking alive,
exactly.
man.
Yeah, and they are like true professionals. So trying to get on the same level they are, obviously just takes some time. But it's been a really good start. Like our partners are happy, our owners happy, my
Good
crew's
deal.
happy. So it's
Where's
been
the
good.
coolest spot you've been so far? Because you said you've been traveling.
Dude, driving. I don't know if anyone's ever driven through Utah, like on
Wow.
like
I
south
think
of Salt
you-
Lake.
Yeah, Salt Lake, right up or north. So you said Salt Lake?
No, south of Salt Lake.
Oh, okay.
So we were supposed to race, supposed to race in Northern California. Got canceled, so we ended
Bay
up having
Area?
to drive through like the southern part of Utah, like
Okay.
up 15 over to Denver.
Oh, okay.
Dude, the most beautiful state I've ever been.
Really?
At. It's insane.
Right on.
Like the scenery was.
It was like you almost couldn't drive.
And if you're out, yeah, right, yeah.
need a
How do
Tesla
you?
for
yeah,
that.
my mind is still too squirrely. I'd be driving. I'm like, what am I gonna have to eat tonight? I'm like, oh shit, I'm in a race. Like,
No, so we finished our last race in California. It was Friday night. We got packed up, got the trailer all loaded up, left at 11:30, drove straight to Vegas through the night. We got there at
Vegas,
6
baby.
a.m. I had a hotel room at one of the casinos. Went up to the hotel, checked in, went up to our room, showered, said, well, neither of us were tired.
Right.
It was just Audrey and I. So we're like, let's just leave. So we went back downstairs, checked out.
Yeah.
Went and gambled for like 20, 30
I was about to
minutes.
say, did you at the
Yeah,
casino?
no, you
Because I was
have
like,
to,
you
yeah.
can't- you
Yeah.
said casino, so I was like,
Yeah.
I think it's in there.
So we gambled a little bit for 20, 30 minutes and then just got a Dutch Bros coffee and started
Yeah.
driving. So we drove, we left Vegas at like 6:30 in the morning and drove through to Denver and got to Denver at like 9:30 that night. So like we had from Vegas to Denver,
it's like
which is
13 hours.
which
yeah,
is like the
bro.
most beautiful part of the country. So we drove through that during the
Can't
day.
even be mad at that.
Yeah, and I was tired, but like the scenery and all that shit was keeping me
Kept
awake.
you
no
Yeah,
doubt,
it was
yeah,
nice.
yeah. I hear
Can't
you.
miss out on that.
It's a long drive, but dude, if you had to drive through 13 hours of Indiana, that would be
I'll
miserable.
punch some fucking mouth.
It'd be terrible.
I get 3 hours of
Basically,
driving.
yeah, yeah.
You drove through
Oh,
Kansas, right?
well, actually, what was it? Wyoming, I think, was the worst for me. Like
Really?
the southern
Yeah.
part of Wyoming,
Yeah.
like, and it was
Because
just
it's
like-
dead
or
flat.
Nebraska.
Nebraska, yeah, all
Where did
cornfields.
so you came? You said they said you drove back from California. or
Yeah, so
something?
I drove from California to Indiana, like was that 80?
Yeah,
I
80,
believe.
yep.
Yeah, so I just followed 80.
Yep.
straight.
Where were you in California?
Bay Area, San Leandro.
Yeah.
So we're right next to Oakland.
Did you do
San
it all
Francisco.
like in one shift, or did you
Yeah,
stop?
it was
and sleep?
I took about like 2 days.
Clocked in.
It was
like,
about-
damn, I need a break.
It was about 2 days. I probably had I think that first night I slept like maybe 4 hours, and then I stopped again in what's that, Illinois, right?
Oh,
and
you're
then,
right there then.
but I ended up stopping there and then like slept like another like 2 hours, but I ended up making it in like 2 days. But
That's pretty good.
I had a friend's wedding that I was trying to get to, and
Wait. Cody?
no, it's Haley.
Oh, Cope.
Oh, yeah.
It was her wedding at the time, and yeah, man. So I was trying to get to that, and I was alone.
That's a movie.
So I was alone. So it's nice to have someone with you to talk to, because I'm
Definitely.
sitting there like talking to myself,
You were talking to
laughing
yourself.
at my own jokes.
Yeah.
Jared, you wild. Look at
that sign.
Shut up and drive. Wait.
Wait, hold on. I went over there.
So I mean, man, that's just driving. It's cool. Like I love driving. It kind of reminds me of how now I get it. Fast and Furious. You know what I mean? Like
Family. Not
family.
just with
Yeah.
people.
But
With the cars.
right. And you said in Kansas. So you guys.
So my girlfriend's from
Oh,
Kansas.
it wasn't
So
Kansas,
we
was it?
stopped in Kansas. Well, we stopped in Denver to see one of her friends that were out at the bars and whatever. So we went in there for like an hour and then drove to Kansas, north central Kansas, where she's from, little small town. And we got there like 4:30 in the morning. And then we stayed there for a day just to hang out with her family, and then drove
Cool.
the rest of the way.
Cool.
Yeah, driving it nonstop it's like 34 hours.
Oh
driving.
wow.
So we did 20, I think we did 23 and a half, straight from California to Kansas the
Oh
next
my
night.
gosh.
Yeah, it was a
That's a
long
fucking
day.
That's a long haul.
A long day. for
Now,
sure.
did you guys meet through this racing?
Yeah, so she wasn't in racing, but her hometown is like an iconic town in racing. It's Belleville, which is the Belleville High Banks. So back in 2017, I was racing there. I won the race. Her cousin was a race fan. He was into the industry and like paid attention, so he knew us drivers and stuff. So I won. She came down after the race based on just a dare. Like her cousin made her pretty much come down.
yeah.
So you just got to go down and talk to him. Blah,
Go
blah, blah.
talk to the winner.
So yeah, Audrey came down and she was not real keen on, like, she didn't really care. She didn't want to be there, but she just asked for my number just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
And then another year later, we were back in the same town, bored with some friends. We're just hanging out. And so we're like, man, we need to find some girls to hang out with. So I'm like, shit, I know someone. So I texted Audrey. And she came over and hung out. Yeah,
Nice.
And that's kind of how it started.
Nice.
Yep.
That's cool. That's cool that you guys are a team on this now,
Yeah.
and like you have a partner in your crew. I wanted to know about like your crew. How did it come about having your for the race?
Like, how'd I get lined up with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Barry Jackson's my crew chief. He's been in the industry for a long time. Him and I have been talking for like 2 years. Before this season, we've been talking for like 2 years, just trying to figure out how to work together. I liked the way he did things. I think he liked the way I raced. So we've been trying to get together for a while. So through him, that's how I got connected. And then he had obviously introduced me to the team owner, which is a businessman from Pennsylvania, and got together over dinner pretty much one week when I was out in Pennsylvania running someone else's car, and that's kind of how it all started.
Okay, he kind of has the link to
Yeah. It's all
how
based
to
on
get-
like connections and whatnot. So there's 3 guys on my team. So crew chief, a car chief, and then a tire guy. So those guys are full-time employees. This is all they do. Like, it's a full-time job.
Wow.
So they run up and down the road. It's like in a semi, an 18-wheeler semi that hauls. We carry 3 cars, 5 engines,
I was going to ask
wings.
that. Like, how like,
it's
what
a
kind of
shop on
trailer?
wheels.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a full-fledged semi. Yeah. Because, I mean, there'll be stretches of 60, 70 days where they don't go back to the shop. If we go out through the West Coast, or if we're stuck up in the Dakotas racing like a circuit up there, that's like you have a shop on wheels. So like
If anything happens,
if you hurt a car, if you crash or blow an engine, like shit can get swapped out quick, and
Nice.
like you're back on again.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
how much you have to trust them a lot, I assume, to
Dude, you gotta have a lot of trust in them, because I mean you're trusting that they do their job right. Because if they don't do their job right and leave something loose or put on a faulty part and that breaks, that can cause me to get injured. I mean, fortunately we haven't had anyone get killed in the last few years, but like every 3-4 years usually there's a bad enough accident where a guy's stuck in a wheelchair or killed, or so like you rely on those guys to and you have to trust them to make sure that they're doing their job right, because they're the ones that are going to keep me safe.
You have to communicate like how the car feels and stuff like that.
So I communicate with my crew chief on that. So like when I come off, I talk about the balance and what I feel. And there's shocks, there's torsion bars, there's air pressure, there's wheel spacing, there's wing angle, there's weight distribution, there's all sorts of stuff that you can do to adjust the car to make it better. And like a fraction of an adjustment is enough to make the difference between running third and second or falling back. Like this past week, I started on the pole, which is first place, and we're running, and we weren't bad, but like it wasn't exactly how it needed to be. We ended up running 7th. Like we faded. And like shit like that happens if you don't get it exactly right. So
because like you have to try to make the adjustments the best of your ability, and it may not be. It'll keep you going, but it may not be what you want to do.
Right.
Like whereas like say you're close to winning and you want to keep it in a certain gear or whatever.
Yeah,
but say something feels off and it's like, damn, like this is happening. If I continue in this way, then I may not even make it. So I've got to throw it.
So the biggest variable in what we do is the surface, the track. So like it's dirt, and they prep it by putting water on it and tilling it and packing it and getting moisture worked into it. But as the night goes on, the dirt loses grip because the moisture dries out. And so the track's like ever changing. So you have to keep up with the track by making adjustments on your car.
You gotta adapt.
Yeah. So like early in the night, we were really good. Like lights out good. We, started, we won our heat race, and we're in the dash, which lines up the feature, past the car there to start on the pole. Like everything was going right. And like that's how you normally win races, is you make early progress throughout the night and you make a good judgment call before the feature, and then you can go out and win. But it just didn't work out this way this time. But there's so much that goes into it to make that possible. So like if we would have had a better setup, or if I would have done my job better, not make any mistakes, and like we could have ended up winning. And the difference between winning and how much that pays to run in 7th, like that's a big gap. So like you have to constantly be improving to figure out how to better your finishes, because then your earnings are up, your sponsors are more happy. So it's a business.
Your crew people, have they raced before? A lot of them have experience in it.
So all of them have worked in the industry, but none of my guys have raced, like actually been behind the wheel.
Gotcha.
I like what you said. Like that's their full-time job. Like so that also adds to your trust. I feel like, as in this is what these guys do.
Take
every
pride in
time.
what they do.
Yeah, so it's
like my crew chief Barry. He's in his late 50s. He's been doing this for 20-some years.
He's
so
he's
a gangster.
Have a crew
He's like,
what up, Barry?
He's a legend.
I hope you're watching.
And
the legend Barry.
And then Scott, which is the car chief, his sole responsibility is making sure that like the car is put together correctly. When Barry makes a judgment call, we need to adjust this. Scott is the one going to do it. I think he's in his early 50s.
Okay.
And then Aiden's a new kid we got. He's 20. So he's our tire guy. So he's learning.
That's cool.
But Scott and Barry both started the way Aiden started.
Yeah.
Starting at the bottom of the totem pole and getting experience and
bring
working.
him along.
It sounds like he's got some good guides, some good shamans above him. He's got some good. So I mean, and as far as you being younger too, I mean, like that could be,
Definitely
what I mean,
helps.
something where you guys stick together and it's one guy, and with you guys making these adjustments and going through this and getting this experience that you are, you know what I mean. I feel like you'll be able to have an eye or the feel, or you just gain that memory of that, and now you'll be able to better utilize that for your races.
No, that's right.
All of you guys are going to get that chemistry too.
Right.
You guys already have it, but
Yeah.
you're just going to keep working and working
Right.
and keep getting stronger and stronger. And like, do you plan on, do you plan on keeping it since you are young, like you said? Like, is that your goal, is to like keep those guys that way? You guys all kind of get better together and know the same formula.
The guy that's leading the points right now, he's won the last 3 championships.
Oh wow!
And he's been with the same crew, the same cars, the same he's been with, and they figured out how to make their shit work, and like it meshes well. The chemistry's good, so like they're gonna just keep on going.
Like 96 Bulls.
Yeah, but if you lose like a key player, and if something falls out, like everything crumbles.
It could hurt.
So that's why it's essential to build that team bond, chemistry, and like how everyone operates within the team, and just so there's a lot more than just like filling it full of fuel, airing up the tires, and like going out and just running. I mean,
It's
there's
cool
so much
for everyone to have the same goal too, to work
Yeah.
towards the same thing. Like everyone's on the same page.
know their role, not have like any type of like I wish I was the driver. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
any
exactly.
type of like
Yep.
envy. You know what I mean?
Animosity.
Malintent. It's like
Right.
you said, we got the same goal. I'm doing this for this reason. I'm here for this reason. You're here to drive. Let's all work together and
Yep.
fucking get this.
And if everyone does their job exactly how it's supposed to be, then you can be successful.
Yeah, that's
Always.
So
Do you apply anything from racing into your everyday habits, into your life, and just how you operate? Or
Therapist.
I think so. I mean, racing, it's the same as any business, I guess, or like any job would be. Like there's certain pieces and criteria that you have to meet in order to like be successful at your job. So like, yeah, I mean, the racing world, like the hardest part about it is just the schedule and like staying like in a healthy mental state, because you're up late at night, you're behind on sleep, like there's a lot of travel and stuff like that. So like when I come home, I don't know if when I come home is my time, or when we come home, I should say, is our time to like unwind and like decompress and not really think about it much. And then like, Wednesday evening and Thursday is like prep day. Okay, now we need to get repacked. Okay, now, I start thinking about, okay, where are we going? What track is it? What is this place usually like? And what are some of the things? So I have like a notebook I break down each night, kind of my thoughts. So like I get like a mental state of like what to be prepared for coming into the weekend. I have meetings on like Monday evenings, like tonight after this, like I'm going back and I have a meeting with my crew chief to recap the weekend. But then like
That's nice.
Tuesday, like Monday night after that meeting, and then Tuesday into Wednesday is usually like chill. Like we just hang out, like do a couple odds and end jobs
Kinda
around
like
the
your
house.
weekend, kinda.
Yeah, so pretty much, it's a backward work schedule. So like someone works Monday through Friday, I work Thursday through Monday, kind of thing.
Gotcha,
You know what I mean? My weekend
Yeah.
is Tuesday, Wednesday normally. So
Get together, do a puzzle.
yeah. So
Dinner date
I
or
guess to
something
answer your
like that.
question, I don't really know if much of what I do on the weekend applies to what I do during the week, I guess.
Because it's a separation.
Yeah, it's like the separation I think is healthy. Like if you take work home with you, isn't that
Yeah.
like that's
There's a lot of
unhealthy, right?
people
Too
that
much.
do.
There's a lot of people that do, but
There's
it can
a lot
affect
of
your
people that do.
family
Yeah,
and your
burn you out,
kids, and
yeah.
like you get
It's
burned
a
out.
great point.
Yeah.
I guess like I was like more meaning like as far as
Oh, I
like
didn't answer your question.
Well, no.
Let me reiterate
Well,
this.
I mean, like as far as like something that almost like what inspires you on the track to is there anything like that correlates to the motivation that you have to just succeed in life, or not necessarily like you go home and it's like, man, I gotta race, but like, or I was like, or I gotta, I mean, because you said you have your decompress or whatever, but as far as like,
Are you competitive with other stuff as you are with racing?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or with
always have
like
been.
hurdles in life, do you be like, well, like do you apply what comes in racing? It's like sometimes you're, a lap back from somebody or something. It's like, you know what I mean? Like you got to stay on the course or anything, is.
Yeah, I think so. I think the biggest thing that racing will teach you in like the other part of life is the like ups and flows, the highs and lows. So like you can go win one of the biggest races, right? And everyone, you're on top of the world, everyone's cheering you on, everyone's congratulating you, like it's just a big overwhelming amount of excitement. And then literally the next night you can go like crash your dick off and like just be fucking like in shambles and like so confused because now you're just down in the dirt. And like that whole week you're just like struggling. So I think it teaches you how to stay like even keeled, like level minded, just like in a good mental space, because like in life, obviously if you have a bad day at work or a bad day with the wife or your kids, something happened at school, like you have to stay like mellow and like you have to stay level headed, because if you are trying to assess certain situations at a completely off tilt perspective, like it's going to affect how you see things. So
like you're not only a winner when you win, like you still you're still going through the motion. You're in the race is what it is. We're all in a race.
Right.
So I like that.
I like that too.
That's what's up. So with your vehicle, and you said you have to make adaptation like to the track. is there something like, do you guys have like with certain tracks, do you get certain types of wheels because you know that this track is going to look like this?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So we run lots of different packages. So like there's wheel offsets. So like, like if guys like pimp out their cars or whatever, and there's like different offsets.
Hydraulics and
so they like
wings.
the spacing of the wheels and stuff are different. Like that changes balance. There's what's called a torsion bar, which is a bar that's in the back of the car that two arms are hooked to the axles, and it's spring loaded. So it's like it twists. So that's a suspension deal. There's shocks. There's all those different things that different places we go to, higher speed, lower speed, more bank, flatter, wetter, drier, like all those things change. So like so like when we go to a new place, that's the benefit of having someone experienced as a crew chief is he's got a notebook from like
they've
all
been
these
there.
years. He's been there.
Yeah.
I haven't. So he carries me in a lot of these scenarios because I'm coming in with an open book. I've never been there, never seen it.
Cool.
So, his job is to get me comfortable and kind of get me up to speed on those places for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give you the ropes. Be like,
That's right.
listen, man, chill out. I've seen this track. I know exactly what it's like.
Yeah, man. You're going to take that turn around there. It's going to be rocky.
You're going to take a left, and then you're going to straighten, then another left, and then a left.
I don't know if you have. Do you not get it yet?
Yeah. Then it's going to wrap around and you're going to take another left down the...
You're going to win. Yeah. You're going to win.
That's really cool, man. Like, I don't know very many people that, race. I think you're like...
I know
this
zero
the
that
first,
do what you do, yeah.
It's first for me, man. So, I mean, it's just cool that that you went this route.
Pull up one of those cars. I want to take a look at one.
Yeah. They are sick,
I want everyone
man.
to see, yeah. Everyone will know what it is when they see it.
Are you a car guy in general, like just driving? Like,
yeah, I am. Like I enjoy like a nice vehicle.
Yeah.
Like I'm not one to like I want to tear the thing apart and rebuild it completely.
Yeah.
But like I take interest in like well built automotive machines.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
Nice picture.
Oh man, you pulled him up. That's even better.
Nice, man.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Any story behind that?
So CJB Motorsports is a team I drive for. They've been 5. They've always been number 5.
Okay.
It's a team that's been around for a long time. They've always had a lot of success. So like there you see like True Timbers obviously on the car. So that was the first night with this new sponsor, and we won. So like dude, it was immediate brownie points. Like it was super super good night.
Cool. And I did want to ask. So obviously other people have different sponsors. Like how did it come about that it was True Timber? So
we have a kind of a guy that's responsible for that part of what we do, sponsorship, marketing, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
His name is Mark Miller. He's been around for a long time. So it was one of his connections, and then he sent out kind of a proposal. True Timber sponsors a guy in NASCAR already. So they're already kind of in the motorsports industry. Yeah. So this is a kind of, like I said earlier, a different avenue in motorsports. Yeah. So they kind of want to cover. They're
covering the pages.
And you got to think like it's target marketing, right? So like if you're trying to sell something, you're going to target the right people that are actually interested in the demand of that product. So True Timber, we race a lot of small town America, like a lot of farmers, a lot of local blue collar people. Yeah. True Timbers, obviously kind of like a hunter, outdoorsman, fishing, and so racing is closely related to that market. So it's a perfect match.
I like the logo. It looks like a buck almost or something.
A little bit, and then you can see like the TT and then the C.
TTC.
True Timber, I like it.
Yeah, so it's been a good partnership, and that, like having their stuff on our merchandise is key too, because now fans, whether they are a True Timber fan or a fan of me, like you get that many more.
That's right.
People paying attention.
Mutual benefit there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, what about right here with NOS? Break that down for me. Is that just they do that for about everyone? Or?
So that's
is that what you're packing in your vehicle back there? That's why
yeah. So the series I run is War of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. So it's just a title sponsor. Okay. Yeah. Just like Monster.
Did you drink NOS?
I like NOS. I drink it. Yeah.
So like you can't look left or right in this, right? You can only see.
You can kind of see. So like if you see another picture, like the left sideboard's up. The right side board's
kind
down.
of up. Oh,
There you go. You can kind of see
okay.
on the other side. It's more up.
Yeah.
On the top, the wing up there. So like that's all for side force.
Okay.
Like you think about if you go outside on like a really windy day and you hold up like a big ass poster board, like how much force is like blowing you with that. So that big wing on top, like, and all the panels and everything on it are designed, built around like making sure the car cuts through the air and it's like pulling the car in the right direction and all that stuff. Yeah. So there's a lot of air that goes into it.
those tires, man.
Yeah.
Big ass look tires. At those motherfuckers.
Hoosiers.
That looks like the fucking
baby.
So dude, the
Batman.
Yes,
dude, that's what it is.
So literally, pull up a picture of the Batmobile.
Dude, this is the.
I don't know which one it is. But they literally put sprint car tires on the Batmobile.
Dark Knight. This is Dark Knight.
Remember when you heard
the tumbler?
So. I think so. Yeah.
And then whenever
you'd hear the, and then you'd take the fuck off.
Or are you talking about the newer one? Was it?
I
think it was
Robert Pat one, or way back
Let's
then
see
with.
here.
I believe the
there you
tumbler.
go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those
are so that's a
hard.
sprint car tire.
Oh, I could tell, dude. I could see it.
That's so dope.
Which because there's no other tire manufacturer that produces a tire like that.
Yeah.
So like it's such
Bro,
a.
and that bitch would take the fuck off. Too. In the movie, it would you'd hear it skirt, and then he'd be like,
so do you, you think this is like one of your guys' sprint cars, but like kind of modified a little bit? Obviously, like it's not trying to go that fast, but it's like set up like that.
It's not a bad fucking.
I want you next time you're on the track, dude. Just feel like you're Batman.
Yeah.
Dude. Like,
where are they?
Yeah.
Where's first place?
Yeah. I'm not wearing hockey pads. Dude, that's awesome, man. And how fast?
Yeah, give me some speed.
It just depends. Like bigger tracks, obviously a lot higher speeds. We go to some places like a quarter-mile track where we'll probably only go like 85 to 95. But some of the bigger places, like so we raced at Bristol Motor Speedway, which is a NASCAR track. It's a half-mile NASCAR track. They put dirt on it. Top speed I think is like 155, 160.
Oh my gosh,
it's crazy. Yeah, it's
for sure. Wide knuckling it.
So it's asphalt under the dirt.
That place specifically. So Bristol Motor Speedway is a track that NASCAR their series races at.
The Bristol. Right.
Bristol. It's like called the lazy. Here, you pull it.
It's easier to see
Bristol.
It's just it's a really high banked half-mile track, and they just put dirt on it for the beginning of the year. And it's definitely the fastest place we go to. So like I don't know if you ever seen that.
Oh my gosh!
Damn,
with the dirt there.
Yeah, with the dirt on it.
one.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow. And you're getting $155 on the straightaways.
Yeah.
What about on the curves? You think you're getting down back to
So our
like
average
Hundo?
speed was 138. So that means like our minimum speed was like 120.
Is that one of the bigger stadiums? I feel like I've seen a college football game played there before.
Yeah,
like
they played a college football game there.
Do whatever they want there.
It's a crazy place. Like when you're down in it and looking up to like the top of the stands, like they call it the last great Coliseum because it's just like you feel like you're in a Coliseum.
It does look like a Coliseum. Holy crap! And it's packed, right? Like I want to go, dude. I want to go to one of your races, man. Like I just want to.
Yeah. So I won that race. That was the first one of the season.
Oh,
which
they
was
even
a great
race
way to
it.
kickstart it. Yeah. So the Cup cars, NASCAR cars race on it too, on the dirt.
On the dirt, wow.
Yeah. Dude, and so here's a new thing they're coming out with. They're doing a video game now.
No way.
With the World of Outlaws, yeah. So like I get to be on my first video game.
That's awesome.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, it's sick. Yeah.
Dude, what? Yeah, all around nuts, bro. Hell yes,
Dude, that's been like my childhood dream. to
Do
be on a
I
video
get
game.
to edit your character?
I don't know about that.
I
Yeah.
make you tall as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I think it's released in stores tomorrow. I think
Are you
it's a release
serious?
date, Yeah.
Damn.
Girl, I'm copping it.
Xbox and
What's
PlayStation.
it called? So
just it's World of Outlaw. Yeah, World of Outlaw sprint car game.
Warcraft.
It's
I lost. Like in 2022,
Yeah,
by
there you
2K or what? Let's see.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay. Dang.
Yeah.
So that's the guy on the cover in the blue suit. That's Brad Sweet. So he's the one that's won the last 3 championships.
Okay.
He's kind of
Xbox One, S Series, Xbox, PS4, and 5.
World of
So
Outlaws
for
Dirt
everyone.
Racing.
Yeah, everyone did. Covers it. Yeah.
Gotta pick that up.
And you better choose Spencer.
You gotta be Spence.
But you better fucking win.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude.
That's right.
Don't be making him look like a fool on his own fucking game.
That's awesome.
How, I mean, like, as far as driving, so you're still like changing gears?
So
and
it is direct drive. It's one gear.
One gear.
So like we'll roll up, lock it in gear. So it's in neutral, and then you lock it in gear, and then they push start. There's no starter. Like your car has a starter.
Okay.
But the engines have so much compression that you can't possibly put a big enough starter on it to like get the thing to hardly turn over. It's just
Wow.
extra weight. So they push start them. Which lock it in gear, turn the fuel on, push it, gets the wheels turning, gets the motor turning.
Push.
Yeah, with like a truck, like a truck, like a truck. Yeah, like a truck.
pushing that bad boy.
Yeah.
You pushing Batmobile?
And then like as soon as you fire, like that's it. Like you're
gone.
you're in
you, like-
you're in gear.
Like you like feathering while you're going.
Yeah, so
through?
like it's literally like how we're sitting right now is how I sit in the car. The engine sits right in front of my knees.
Wow.
So you don't have your legs out in front of you. So like you're pretty much sitting in a chair. The pedals are right below you. So like it's a very tight space. Like my legs I can't move. My shoulders, I'm locked in.
Maybe we
5-point
could-
harness. Like, yeah, I mean, it's for safety reasons,
Yeah.
but there just isn't a lot to them.
It's
Maybe
like
we
one
could
of those
see-
steering wheels that are like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's just like you're just like a bus wheel, pretty much. So, like a bus,
Really?
it's more flat. It's not like as
Yeah.
vertical. It's
Yeah.
more flat.
Oh shit!
Because it's like you literally sit in
Bus
a chair.
wheel,
like,
that's, yeah.
yeah.
But sit your ass down back there. Oh man, that's cool as fuck.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to play it. That'll be kind of cool.
You're a gamer?
Yeah,
Or
I was a
you-
gamer. Yeah,
What's your console that you like?
I've got a PS4.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I haven't upgraded.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
man.
haven't upgraded either.
Yeah,
but-
they're still hard to get.
They are hard to get.
PS5
I don't know
and
how. Like they just
I think it's like a
made it-
year
Yeah.
and already been a year and a half, 2 years, and it's still hard to get one of those consoles. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. I wasn't like die hard into it, but
Right.
I definitely
You like
like
gaming.
I played Madden and NBA
Oh, yeah.
2K and all that stuff, dude. College football on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
that
Hell
was
yeah,
the
bro.
I hope they
best.
bring it back.
Yes, that
I
was the
know.
best.
You could play as the mascots against each other and stuff like that.
I texted him
Cool.
earlier. So where you
Yeah.
at? He said, I got beat Cody's ass at Madden real quick.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he got pretty upset, man. Like 3 times, dude. And I don't know what's going on today, but I was on fire. Like, dude,
no.
I
can't put the fucking
dude, I
whooping
played
on them like that.
it was Chiefs versus Ravens, dude, and I only missed 2 passes with Patty Mahomes, dude, and I had like fucking like 200 or like 200 something yards
We're like
passing.
24 for 26 or
Bro,
some stupid shit.
it was
It
outrageous.
lights out.
lights out.
I've been
Patty
playing.
home.
I've been playing the yard. It's like a little mini game on Madden,
yeah,
and like
getting
you
better.
make your created guy, and you start to slowly like build his stats or whatever. But you play
cool.
like head to head rank. But like I think there's like, what is there? Usually 11 guys on the field.
Yeah.
I think there's probably like
11.
7.
Oh, that's
like a
cool.
7-on-7
like 7-on-7.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
sick.
we used to play.
And
That's
though,
cool. Yeah.
and though it's like a 60-yard
Yeah.
field.
shorter and
that's
stuff.
cool.
Yeah, and it's
that's
really
fun.
fast paced, and like you could do kind of cool little tricks and stuff like that and bomb
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
like it made me in the actual game play a lot
better,
faster,
yeah.
dude. And he's like, dude, what did you get into? He's like, when I was playing it, he's like, I don't like it.
Patty Mahomes can play like that
practicing.
though. He's like that backyard.
Really, he
quarterback,
is,
yeah.
and you scramble, you know
Scramble
what I mean?
off
Yeah.
the back foot, fucking just
I gotta show you guys
that.
that VR game. It's
Oh,
that
yeah.
NFL game. It's badass. It's crazy.
I've seen so many videos of that.
It's-
It looks so dope.
It is fun.
Huddle
like
up.
looking all, you can see the stadium and everything.
So you're in your
Yeah.
Oculus, and
You're like-
so
Dude, how
you're-
I've never used one of those things.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
this
it's,
sick?
it's pretty
legit.
cool.
Like,
yeah.
is it
I've
as
been
real?
golfing on it.
Because you see the videos of like people online that are like in the living room, like you put it, like give it to your parents, and like they fucking run through the TV and like
Well, that's
they
because
think they're, like,
they're fucking stupid.
It sets up,
Yeah,
it sets
well,
up a
it is
guardian
weird.
for you to where
Okay.
you
For
can
a
like,
first-timer,
you can
like-
stick your head out of it
Gotcha.
and see like your living room or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty safe if you know how to
I was
use
like,
it.
I watch those videos. I'm like, damn, that must be so realistic.
They are
Yeah.
realistic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I play Resident Evil 4 in it, shooting zombies and shit. It's pretty
That's
They
fun.
crazy.
have like the headset for the PS4, and I remember I was at my dad's and we were playing it, and my little sister Corey, it was her first time using it, and there was a underwater sea dive or whatever, and there's like sharks and stuff trying to get you, and you're like trying not to freak out. She like had to take off her headset because it's so surreal.
Yeah.
It's so in your face.
My first time ever playing it, I was like climbing a ladder, and I'm like
looking down.
it actually feels like it tricks your brain.
That's crazy.
It's
Rock
nuts.
climbing and shit. You're looking down. There's like a hawk flying by you. You're like, all right, I'm fucked.
You're good.
That's wild. So, when did you guys start this podcast? Like, how long? How long you been going?
Just not too long ago.
2 years from November.
78
Oh,
episodes.
2 years from November?
Yeah, in November we hit 2 years.
Did a
crazy.
year just go by? Because I thought it was a fucking year,
20
bro.
That's
November
crazy.
2020.
So, were you guys just like sitting around, just like chilling one day, and you're like, man, let's start a podcast? Or like, what got you guys into like?
It's when the Michael Jordan documentary came out, The Last Dance.
Yeah.
We all started getting together on every Sunday and watching it together. And like we'd be outside talking for like an hour before, like missing the show.
We'd have to record it,
Yeah.
DVR that
Yeah,
shit, and then
rewind
come
it.
back and watch it, but then still talk.
He was still,
you know what I mean?
He came back during the pandemic, then moved back out to California for a minute, Washington, and then once he came back, we're like, okay, we're
we
gonna
have
start
to
this
now,
thing.
yeah. Like we developed it when you were here and we were all watching
Right,
the
we still
show.
We still were, because we started it. Remember, because then I left,
Yeah.
and then we were doing the Zoom calls, and we're like, we
Yeah.
gotta keep this,
Yeah,
we
keep it
gotta
going,
keep it
yeah.
going. Until Zoom made it like, dude, like where you gotta pay to have
to
longer
like
than
45 minutes.
Once we kind of knew we
Luckily,
were
I
gonna
was
do it, I like built a table. We started getting equipment together, and
Yep.
we're like, okay, we gotta figure out like our process. It took a little bit, but
Yeah, that's cool, man.
once we got it down, it's like, okay, we got it. We know what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, this year? Is it 2022?
Dude, it's
Yeah.
2022
This year
this
in
year.
March.
You did lose track of the
Yeah,
year.
I swear. I graduated from fucking First Institute with my audio engineering, recording arts degree.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
So, like, as soon as we started, I was like, I love this. I was like, I gotta fucking pursue it like more. That way I have like something legit. That way
Right.
I'm not just making a podcast. That way we can use this as like an example to show, a future career. Like, look,
Right.
we've been doing this.
Right.
And look at the quality of how it's progressed since before and after. This guy is crazy. You know what I mean? All of the, like, most of the audio stuff he's just picked up and I learned it. You know what I mean? And then the visual shit, I feel like it's just part of
We
his
started
nature.
out like a little recorder, and now we got like a big.
Yeah.
fucking
Heck yeah,
thing.
man, that's
Yeah, we
sick.
started with a P4. This is a PA. I have a hell of fucking interfaces at the crib, 12 mics, and then with Jared, it was like, it was almost where we were thinking about quitting because it was like, you're not here, man. It was like he's the core member of the group. It's like he's the. I'm telling you, bro.
I mean, brick by brick, bro. Like all of us have put in like together. Like we each.
This used to be blank.
Yeah, right. Like
Everything was not here. But with you moving, it was like, what are we gonna do?
Right,
Are we gonna
right.
just say that was fun,
Yeah.
or are we gonna,
Yeah.
push through it? And with you being able to, have a different time zone. How many hours is it?
3 hour.
3 hours. So a whole completely
Yeah.
different
and
time
Washington
zone.
State.
Yeah.
So I was
So
up
you
there.
were able to still, give all the input while we were, because I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I probably would like it would have been so hard to do it without you. You know what I mean?
And honestly, I'm just blessed because, especially like, what was weird for us was like with COVID, that was like the perfect opportunity for us to get going on it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that
you can
almost
devote a
worked.
lot of time into it. And,
Right.
and yeah.
Did that affect you with racing at all?
Yeah, dude. So obviously it hit in like the spring of 2020. There's nothing happened. They closed everything, and then we didn't run a race until July. But it was like a race with no fans.
Yeah.
So but then tracks don't want to have it because like they're not making any money.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
They usually have a few thousand people show up every night that are buying tickets, concessions, beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like no track wants to put it on because they're just going to lose money
Makes
like
sense.
crazy. So it was a definitely a shortened schedule, I think. And it was funny too, dude, when everything opened back up. So it had been a few months. The first race, dude, everyone was so rusty. Like you could see everyone was struggling. Like they're all over the place. But yeah, there was and the other part of it too is like you got teams. We've got technically four employees on our team. you still got to pay your guys. I mean, well, you can't just stop paying them, but the team's not making any money because we're not racing. So like, it's just like anything else. I mean, we were affected the same just as everyone else was.
Right.
Crazy.
Fucking.
But I feel like we're
back on again.
Back on.
Back on track.
Back on. I think that's us who did it. The American people.
Like we're not gonna just.
We're not gonna keep being.
I'm going on vacation. I don't care.
I'm going over to my homie's house. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. We're going back.
I think people just got fed up with it. Like, they're like, fucking, who cares? Like, what's gonna happen? What's the worst that can happen? I mean, it's like what the percent and all the numbers and stuff came out. And,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a healthy individual. I make my own decisions.
Yeah. Did you guys have COVID ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
nothing.
I had it twice. Yeah, it was like a cold.
It's cool.
I still like.
It is a cold.
I have yet to like experience anything about it. Like I don't know. Knock on wood, but man, I didn't do the vaccination or anything. But also around that time, like I said, I was traveling and stuff, and I was pretty much on my own, and everything else was pretty much shut down and stuff. So I mean, like it was open road, not many people out and about and all that. I don't know if that had something to do with it. I mean, it's still out there. Maybe one day I'll still get it, or maybe I thought. It was just a normal cold or something. Maybe I could have had it. I don't know.
I had it. I think I had it twice.
I never had the taste or smell deal.
The taste and smell went away, and I was mad about that.
I think I got the back
I
pain.
want to eat.
Yeah. Dude, I lost my smell for 9 months.
Oh my
It
god,
was terrible.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. One of my homies still doesn't.
Were you like?
That's crazy.
This tastes good now. Yeah.
It wasn't like this tastes good. Yeah, you were like,
It's just like, that tastes funny. And then you try it again, you're like, oh my
is this
God,
what
I
food
can't.
tastes like? You're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's
man,
like you can
is
see again,
you're like,
almost.
huh? Yeah, and you smell
it's
like
over.
you're like, it smells like shit. Wait a minute.
It smells like shit. Yes.
Weird question, but did that affect like your racing at all? Like not being able to smell stuff, like burn? I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's a good
question.
question. Yeah. So normally you can smell like if the track's starting to take rubber, which changes the surface and what you got to do inside the car. That changes. So that normally you can smell before you can see it. So obviously that's a disadvantage. Or guys, sometimes if something's failed in the engine, you can smell burn oil or something like that. Like you can predict rather than running the motor into the ground, it's going to blow up. Like you can maybe catch it a couple laps prior and save your team like 30 grand on the engine rebuild. So like, it definitely played a part in it for sure.
Any tasting involved?
No.
Motor oil.
Yeah.
No good.
Yeah.
My car wouldn't like that, man. It likes the NOS.
That's right. NOS plug.
Shit. I was gonna say something off of that.
I got you with the taste.
You did. You threw me off.
Dude, I got
the smell at first.
I got COVID twice. Both times were at the same week, same race, 2 years back to back. Knoxville Nationals in August. There's like 25,000 fans show up to this event, and it is like it's pretty much a party that we race at. It's not a race that we party at. Like it is just a massive like tailgate week long party. And there's like this little. It's in Knoxville, Iowa, tiny little podunk town that like all these people show up in their campers and like rent campers and like bunk with each other and stuff. But there's a little bar called Dingus, and it's the nastiest, cringiest fucking place.
Hole in the wall type,
or is it called Dingus?
Oh gosh!
Don't find me at Dingus.
I found the dingleberry in my drink at Dingus.
That's a special.
Yeah, dingleberry.
Dingus Dingleberry.
Yeah, but literally everyone after those 2 weeks, like back-to-back years, everyone went home with COVID.
Wow!
It was like a massive
Dingus.
Yeah, it was normal, but it was so worth it, man. Like
Dingus 2020 was a hell of a year.
the Dingus COVID strain.
Oh no,
that's a double booster shot.
I remember what I was gonna say now. With your smelly going away is like that's another like small little variable that that you would have to deal with.
Right.
And then another thing like with life is that like there are different variables in life, and then it's like still with the adaptation, because I feel like there's so many adaptations that you have to make on the court or
on the court
track.
Yeah.
But
court, track, field.
Course.
Okay. Yeah. Course.
Course. Yeah.
Track.
Yeah. Race course.
But So that's cool because in life, you got to be versatile, man. You got to be ready to go. You got to,
Right.
whatever comes up, COVID hit, make a podcast, I guess.
For sure, man.
So, is there any questions you had for us or anything? Any other? I know you asked about the pod or.
Yeah, I was just curious. Like obviously, I was talking to Jared the other night at Ulan, and he's like, "Yeah, podcast." And Zach Schrader's actually told me, he's like, "Yeah, they've got a podcast, man. Like, you should jump on with it."
Like to get him on too for golfing.
that'd be awesome.
I guess,
Yeah.
dude, he's a legend up there
That would
already.
be
He's
you,
already
man.
a
We
legend
would-
in the making.
Yeah.
I did. We could have. I think since it's all closed up today or whatever, we would have had it like at Ulan or whatever.
Yeah.
But this is, I mean,
This is the
this is
OG.
the stew.
Yeah.
So
This is the
maybe
stew.
when's probably whenever you would come back next to Indiana or is it like,
So I'll be gone all next week, and then the week after that. Yeah, no. Usually we spend about 8 to 10 days home each month.
oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so
you're
usually
home.
like midweeks. Like we try to get home at least for a couple days midweek, but sometimes we get stuck out in Pennsylvania or whatever.
Okay.
Because we drive everywhere. So like,
Yeah.
if you drive 12 hours out there,
You're like,
you're
"Bro,
not
I
going to
can't keep
drive
going,
another
man.
12
I
to go
can't
back
keep
to then
going."
turn right,
go
a few
back.
days later and go back. So some guys fly, some guys have like buses, like motorhomes and stuff. So we drive.
That's what I would do.
But we
motorhomes,
like
yeah.
coming home. So we'd spend a little bit extra every year just trying to get home and
See
just
the
like,
fam.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Unwind.
Any other sponsors or shout outs any other people you wanted to let the fans know about?
No, True Timber Camo is our title sponsor. Signing Day Sports, which is a digital recruiting platform for high school athletes. That was our first sponsor of the year.
Cool.
Buddy of mine started that company out in Phoenix, Arizona. They're up to like 100,000 kids on their platform now. So
That's awesome.
it's been huge. So it's been good. It's been a lot of fun. Big shout out to Kevin O'Rourke back in high school. He was the one that let me miss as much school as I did.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I see a future.
I was
in
going
it.
to ask about how that worked too. That
was kind of swept under the rug at the time, but like I would miss like 30 to 40 days of school. Like it was nuts. Like pretty much every Thursday, Friday I'd have off.
Did you have like, how did it affect your school?
So like most of my teachers were like super cool and like, yeah, I'll get you your work ahead of time,
One
or like
here
we'll
and
get it when
there,
you're back.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
there was always that one or two that was like,
You have to be here.
Yeah, you have to be here, or like they would she'd give me like 3 assignments or whatever, and then I'd do them, turn them in, and then ask my friends about it. And they're like, oh, we didn't have to do that. Like, bitch was giving me like
wow.
unnecessary assignments.
Hater, man.
You just
like,
don't want to see me
Hater.
fall. What the hell?
She said, "I'm gonna drive you insane."
Yeah, but Mr. O'Rourke, he was cool.
That's
He was
cool,
cool for
yeah.
sure. He let me miss out on a lot of school. Made sure like I was getting all my work done, like my grades were good. So like he was fine with it. It was
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool.
It's chill. Yeah.
If he's cool with it, you cool with it.
Well, man, best of luck to you on you and your journey with this, and just keep at it, dude. It's dope that you're doing this, and
Future bright.
yeah, man. I mean, yeah, stay safe out there too, man. Like, if I could just keep it up, like I just love to see that shit,
that's
bro.
cool.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
thanks
coming
for
on,
coming
man.
on.
Thanks coming
Hope to
on,
have you
bringing that
back.
energy, brother.
Yep. So 78 in the books. Thank you
Wrong.
guys for watching.
Thanks for
And,
listening.
Catch you next time.
Peace.